Hey YouTube, alright, how many people have seen the famous halogen lamp? What is this thing, about 6 feet tall? We've seen them out for about the last 10-15 years. They have been banned in most colleges because they, well, let's see why they've been banned. Let's look over here at the top. It's a halogen bulb inside that protective glass. This bulb probably gets to about 200 or 300 degrees, extremely hot, and so we have a lamp sitting next to a wall that might have a curtain or something on it. This might be next to a curtain. It might be next to a picture on a wall, and 300 degrees, and next thing you know, you got a fire and the dorm or the house is burning down. And this happens all over the country. So these lamps have been banned everywhere. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to convert this to a standard lamp. Just a fun project, I think. What I'm going to be doing, I'm not really sure at the moment, but I'm going to be removing the halogen glass, the bulb, the metal top over here, the grill, and then we're going to get down to the wiring, and I might be drilling a hole into the metal over here and putting feeding the wire through a fitting and mounting a socket on there. I don't know, but in the end there's going to be a lamp socket on the top of this thing, and I thought it would be a fun project, and I'm going to record my progress with it. What else is there? I guess that's about it. So on all these lamps, they come with a variable control, a dimmer, and hopefully by the time I am done, this dimmer will still be working and I'll be able to dim the light that I'm going to install on here. Problem with most of these lights is either the bulb burns out and they're very expensive and they're very dangerous, or this switch just completely goes out. And these are just a pain in the ass to work on. The wire comes from the bottom and feeds up here, and sometimes there's a plastic fitting in here and it's really hard to get in there and work on the wiring with this crazy switch. So they're not easy to work on. They're not meant to be worked on. These lamps sold for about $15, $20. They were cheap, easy to make, and so welcome to my video, and we'll see over the next couple of days what happens as I convert and modify, or the new current 2014 word, repurpose this dangerous lamp to something safe. Okay, these are the things that I purchased. I don't know if I'm going to be using them, if I'm going to need them. This one I'm definitely going to need. This is a light switch socket. As I said in another video, Home Depot doesn't sell these without the switch on it, and I know the lamp already has a switch, but if that switch doesn't work, I can use this. Well, no, I can't, because nobody's going to be able to reach a switch that's 6 feet 2 inches up. So, but this is all they sell, and it's got a screw fitting on the bottom. And my thought, which I'm not really sure about yet, is how am I going to mount this? I want this to be safe and secure. I don't want it to be, I don't want to just throw the socket on the top of the lamp and make it, just let it flop around there. I want it to be mounted on the lamp somehow. The only way to do that is to use some nipples that are made for this stuff. These will screw into the bottom of the lamp socket over here. And then I'm going to need to be able to support this onto the lamp somehow, and that is why I purchased some hex nuts that are made for these, made for this fitting, for this threading. So these are going to be the three things that I think I will probably be using for the project. Might use a soldering iron to solder the wire that's going to go under the screws of the lamp socket. And I'm going to need some tools, obviously, a drill to drill a hole so that this feeds through the metal plate on the top, and a wrench, nut driver, a socket wrench, something to tighten the nuts onto the lamp. And the other side of the threaded piece will be held on with this screw, so it will hopefully mount like this. But that's just the beginning planning. And that's it for now. Time to take the lamp apart, and then I will continue. Alright, what I'm doing now is I'm going to remove the two screws that are holding the grill on, because everything on the top is probably going to end up in the garbage can. as not needed. And take out the second screw. You can see the glass, the protective glass on the top of the bulb is ready to fall off. So let's get in here and remove. Okay, 2 screws and the 2 clips are off. And I'm removing the grill. And then we have the protective glass. And then we have this extremely expensive piece of glass. I think this sells for about $6 now in the store. And if you put your fingers on this thing, then it will probably, well, you put your fingers on this type of a halogen lamp, you will leave oil from your fingers on there, and it will cause this bulb to burn out really quick. So I cannot get this bulb out while the camera is in front of me, so I'm going to shut off the camera, remove the bulb, and then I will continue. Alright, I am going to try to remove the bulb with the camera on. So I've got some protective toilet paper, and this is just a squeeze type thing. You can see I'm putting pressure on a pin over here that holds the bulb in on the 2 pins. The two pins sit on the edge. Hopefully you can see that sit into the ends of the lamp. And let's zoom on in there so you can see what's going on. What's going on this little pin. So I've removed the bulb, and now what I'm going to be doing is taking, looks like these screws hold the sockets on. Oh, again, do not do this while the lamp is plugged in, because you will die and you won't be able to finish the project. So I'm not going to remove these 2 screws because it looks like those hold the socket to this metal. This screw probably is holding this plate to the center post, so that is what I'm going to try to remove next, and we'll see what that does. Well, my hand's in the way of the light. Alright, that's on tight. Ugh. Find out what's behind here in a minute. Okay, center screw is removed. Let's, is this just a protective plate? Looks like a protective plate. Protective plate and wiring behind there. Oh my gosh, this might make my job a little easier than I thought. Okay, so what I need to do, let's go look and see what they've done here. Let's remove this protective, looks like heat cloth or something. And we've got our splices, and then we've got what the heck is this? I have absolutely no idea what this piece is. Hold on a minute, let me look at this wiring and I will continue. Alright, we've got the black and the white wire, which are 2 power wires. The white wire makes a nice loop over here and goes to this side of the bulb, and the black wire makes a nice little loop, goes through, I'm assuming this is some type of a thermal fuse or something, I don't know. Can you even see that? Yeah, you can see that. It looks like it goes through some weird type of thermal fuse or something, and then goes over to the other side of the bulb. So these are the 2 wires that we really need to be concerned with. We need this wire and we need this wire. And I don't want to keep this thermal thing in there. I have absolutely no idea what it is. So let me get the wire cutters and I'll start cutting. Alright, instead of getting the wire cutters, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to remove this bracket up here, which might go back on later. Save the hardware. You know, that bracket is going to come in handy. That's going to make things, I think that's going to make things much easier for this project. Okay, so I'm going to remove these 2 screws over here. Sorry, I know you can't really see that too well. Wow, those are tight. All this stuff is tight. Hopefully you can see over here, you can see all this dust. That's why these lamps are so dangerous. You got a little bit of dust around a lamp that's put putting out a couple hundred degrees of heat, and that thing could just flare up and nobody would ever look in there and have any idea that there's dirt in there. Okay, so what I've done now is I'm going to remove these screws just so that I can make things a little easier for all of us to see what's going on. I'm going to remove these two screws that are holding this thermal piece in here, over here, and after I get that off, then it will be easier to see what I'm doing. Alright, I took the two nuts off and the two screws, so now I'm able to, let's see, we want to zoom out. That plate is gone, and now we just have, we've removed the cover, removed this thermal piece, I removed the bulb, I removed the grill, and let's look and see what's going on here. How are these wires held in here? These wires are these screwed in? These wires are kind of welded in, so those are in my way. I'm just gonna cut this off right now and get this out of the way, get this whole piece out. So what we've got now is the power wires that I'm going to, I don't know why they tied this stuff up. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make it easier for me. I'm just going to cut over here. I don't really think I need that. I could use electrical tape if I need to, so this piece is gone. Now we have our power wires, the black and the white. And I can get rid of the piece of glass that we don't need, and I can get rid of all the hardware that we don't need any. Well, we're going to need that. What am I saying? Yeah, we're going to need that. We are definitely going to need that. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this bracket. I think this bracket is going to come in handy. I need to remove, I don't need to remove, I'm going to attempt to remove these white pieces on this bracket. And let's see if that's even possible, because what I want to do is, you know, I have a choice. I've got this nut over here. This is holding the lamp together. What I could do, well, no, that really wouldn't work. I was thinking, put a coupler on here, add another nipple onto this thing, and then screw the socket on there, but this needs to stay secure. So what I'm going to do is try to remove these white socket pieces that hold in the bulb and use this bracket to hold the nipple in, if that's possible. That might not be wide enough to support me drilling into it to put the nipple in there, but we will see in a minute. Good news, really good news. If you look over there, there's a screw hole in there. Will the screwdriver fit in there? Slowly taking this apart to see what's going on. And okay, things are getting a little better as I do this. There is a possibility that this is going to work. And I promise I will clean up this filthy lamp before the project is finished. Okay, so what we're left with is this nice little bracket here. And let me go get the parts now and see if I can make this work. Alright, this is the bracket. This is the nipple. You can see we are talking a really tight fit here, especially since I don't have a drill press, just a fraction of an inch on each side. So this is going to be a heck of a challenge. I don't know if I can do it holding a regular drill because I don't have a vise here. So what I'm going to do now, which I can't do on camera, is I'm going to drill this hole, the center hole. I'm going to drill this hole, try to enlarge this hole, and see if I can drill the hole without damaging this bracket and get this to work. If I can't, then I'm going to have to find some way to get a nipple or make a bracket so that I can mount this nipple on here, and then I can connect the wires. Okay, what I need is a 25/64 drill bit, but I'm going to be using a 3/8 drill bit, which is a little bit smaller because I am assuming that I'm not going to be drilling perfectly straight, and I don't really have a lot of room to mess with. So I'm going to start with a 3/8 inch hole on this bracket, and there's a very good possibility that I'm going to mess this up. Realistically, there's a really good possibility because I don't have a vise. But I will be back, and you can see what I've accomplished in a couple minutes. All right, we're back to recording. I don't know how the heck I did this. This is a 25/64 hole, and you can see it is right on the edge. I didn't use a vise, I just used a very powerful hand drill, and I was making sure I didn't rip my fingers apart. I don't know if this is going to hold when I try to put the nipple inside there, and see the nipple's going to fit. You can see it barely fits, let's say. Barely fits. It's incredible. Just absolutely incredible this worked. So what I'm going to do is I want this really stable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a nut on both sides of this thing since there's not a lot of material there, and hopefully I don't break this thing from pressure as I tighten it down. And is that going to work? I don't even know if that's going to work. Let's see. Brackets went like that, so that gives me a little bit of space. Not a lot of space, but it gives me enough space to make this thing work. I've got enough wire length. I've almost got enough wire length. Maybe I want to go a little smaller in size. What sizes did they give me? The next size after that is this. I don't know if I want to use something that small. I'm going to have to figure that out. I'm going to size this thing. Yeah, I might be able to use that. Maybe not, because that's really tight. Let me figure this out, and I'll let you know what I did in a second. Alright, I cannot use the smallest one. Is the light even shining there so you can see this? I can't use the smallest nipple because the nuts are too wide, and when I put the nuts on, well, maybe I can. You know, maybe I can. It's going to be a really tight... No, I can't, because I could. I'd have enough space for the two nuts and the material, but I need some of this thread to go inside the bottom of the socket, so I'm going to be stuck with this. If I have to extend the wire somehow, I'll do that. So I'm going to be using the second to the smallest size that came in the package. I could give you the dimensions, but this whole thing is dependent on what type of bracket you're going to use. And since I'm going to be using this bracket, this is the size that I'm going to be using. Alright, that's what I'm going to be doing. The two nuts over there, I'm probably going to feed this out just a fraction more so I have less material hanging out over here. I really don't know if this is going to hold up to me tightening this thing down with 2 wrenches. Hopefully it does. But that's what it's going to be. That's going to give me enough clearance to not bump into this nut over here, and the wire should be able to feed straight through. And then I should be able to screw this into the back of the socket and connect the wires. So let me go get the tools and tighten these two things down and see if it breaks apart or not. Alright, there it is. It didn't break. I was really careful. It's fairly tight, and hopefully, so far everything's gone good. I don't know if that's going to continue. Whoa, I see a little bit of dust down in here. Dangerous. Whoa, 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 dust down in there. Look at all of that. Yucky, yucky. Alright, that's definitely going to be cleaned out before I continue with this job. That is not good. I don't like that at all. What I'm going to be doing now, I'm going to be putting the wires through the center of this nipple, and then I'm going to be screwing this bracket back down like it was originally, and then I am going to start doing the wiring. So that is coming up next. Okay, I put the screws back in there that were in originally. This one was kind of spinning a little bit, stripping. I don't really want to go put, I could put a regular screw and a nut in there, but I really don't want to hassle with the thing. I don't think this is going to come apart. It's a little wobbly, but it's secure enough, so I'm not really worried about that. I might stick something under there in a minute, I'm not sure. This screw is perfect. You can see I put a knot in the wires. I don't really know if I like that over there. you normally put a knot in the wire so that they don't slip through the bottom. It's really close to the wire, to the nipple, but there's not going to be any friction on this wire, so there shouldn't be any insulation being worn away. Otherwise I could just take the wire and put it straight up through here and not worry about it. But I think I'm okay. So I'm going to see if I can stop this screw from spinning, and if not, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip this wire. I really don't like this wire, but it's made to not melt or catch on fire, and that's why it's got a weird insulation on there. And I'm going to be taking this wire and stripping the ends of it, which I will show you the result in a minute. And then it's time to connect it up to the socket and then see if this thing works at all or not. Okay, what I did on this screw over here, since it was spinning, is I put some Loctite on there. You know, if you don't, I can't really say how you should be building this thing because there's so many variables. I don't even know if you're going to be using the original bracket or if you're going to make your own. The screw hole might be fine and it might not strip. This screw is stripping. I could put a new screw in there and put a nut on the other side, or what I did is I just put some Loctite on there, tightened it down. I think it's going to hold. It's going to be secure enough. This is really not going to, it doesn't matter that it's wobbling a little bit. And now it's time to do the wiring. Okay, we're back on record. I've got the base of the light socket, lamp socket, light bulb socket, lamp holder, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to be feeding the wires through this, and then I will screw this onto the nipple that I put on there, and make sure that I have access so that I can tighten that screw down. I'm going to be tightening that screw so it doesn't spin. And then I'm going to take the light socket apart, and I'll be connecting the wires onto these two screws, making sure that there is no shorting of the wires, and then it will go back into the socket with this protective cardboard to make sure that the wires don't short out onto the outside and kill you. So that is what's coming up next. Okay, you can see what I did. I untied the knot in the wires over there, and the reason is I can't really judge how long these wires are going to have to be. I might have to shove them back down this nipple over here, and if there's a knot there, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull these wires out of the way to make the wires fit into the socket. So I stripped the insulation off of there. Not a lot, but probably enough to get around the screw. And now I'm going to mount the wires on these two screws over here and close the socket up, and we'll see if there's power up here when I plug a bulb in and if this works. Okay, I've got the wires on there. What I do, a lot of people don't do this, but what I do, I remove the screws and then I curl the wire, put a curve in there, and then I put the screw inside the wire and then I screw it in. That way I've got a really nice tight fit over here. You can see the wire's not really hanging out. And if the wire was soldered, then it would wrap around the screw really nicely and probably not fray or come out. But this is how I like to do it. You can see it's very clean, and the insulation's almost right up to the screw with a little bit of space. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this back together, and then I'm going to slide this onto, or inside here, and obviously I'm going to be pushing the wires back, and the wires are going to come out over here. That's why I untied everything, and that's the next step, and then I think I'm almost done. Okay, the wire didn't really slide down there. There's wire flopping around inside here, but I was able to push this top piece down and get a good seal, and it snapped together. And before I'm even finished with this, I'm going to make sure that there are no shorts on the outside of this to the power wire. But this looks like it's completely wired, so I'm going to go get my meter right now, and we're going to check out everything, make sure that there are no shorts, and that power should go from the power plug to the lamp socket, and then I'll apply power. After I plug in a lamp, of course. All right, I've got my power meter, continuity meter. When the probes are connected, it beeps. I don't really know. Okay, let me turn on the switch on the lamp first. Okay, switch on the lamp is turned on. I don't know if this switch is on or off yet, but we'll find that out in a minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab, you can't see this, I'm going to put my meter across one of the leads of the power cord, and I'm going to put it in the socket. Nothing. Put it in the socket. Nothing. So let's turn this switch and see if that changes things. Nope, nothing. Just trying to make sure that the wires are connected and that I didn't mess this whole thing up. Absolutely nothing. Okay, maybe I did screw this up. Let's see, switch. The switch is on. And let's go over to this part of the plug. No connection. Okay, we got a connection on one of the leads going to the center of the bulb. Let's turn this, and that should shut it off. Nope, that should shut it off. Did I get a three-way switch? I might have bought a three-way out. Yeah, I bought a three-way. Okay, no big deal. Okay, I should have that connection again. Okay, so we've got a connection on the center, which means that the other part of the plug should give me a connection on the side. It gives me absolutely no connection. Main concern now, do I have a short over here? Nope. Do I have a short going from the plug to here? Nope. Do I have shorts over here? Nope. Do I have shorts going to the fixture? No. So it's time to get a bulb now and plug it in. Alright, what I did is I stood the lamp up, I screwed in a fluorescent bulb here, and I have the switch on the lamp on. I think I have the switch on the lamp on. What do I have on? Oh my god. It's a dimmer switch. Ooh, it's a dimmer switch in here. It really doesn't like that. The bulb is flipping out. It's going, doesn't like that at all. I don't know if that's going to make this bulb too hot. I can't see the dimmer. It's not a rheostat. It's not going to be increasing the power. Okay, so that is wiring the bulb. And rewiring the lamp. I've just saved a halogen lamp that was going to go in the trash. You can probably find these in the garbage all over your neighborhood because nobody wants them anymore. And for about, what, $6, $7 with the hardware, I was able to save this lamp. So hopefully you enjoyed my video. And take your time putting this stuff together. Be creative. And don't kill yourself. Be really careful with the wires. Make sure there are no shorts. And don't do this with the power on.